Hi, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Besties in a Box. I'm so glad you could join us today. Today, we're going to be meeting with my good friend Heather, and I'm very excited about today. Heather is an amazing woman. She's a professional woman, she's a young woman, and so I think she'll have a lot in common with many of you out there. Heather and I met many years ago through our husbands, who actually play an unusual sport called to cross. Some of you may know of it, some of you may not. It's a pretty neat sport, actually. It's like volleyball with your feet. So our husbands are both pretty active guys, and we met through that. We didn't connect right away. We were both a little bit like, oh, I don't know if we have anything in common. And we soon found out that we did. We actually had a lot in common. We're both very interested in the health and wellness industry and helping people. Heather owns her own business. She's an entrepreneur, and she has a wonderful registered massage therapy practice called Body Well, and we'll be talking a little bit about that today, what it's like being an entrepreneur. And she's also taking her yoga therapy training as well, so she will be a yoga therapist very soon. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And so I'm excited to introduce Heather to you today, and we'll be doing that in just a moment. I want to remind you to like and follow our page here on YouTube. It's Psychic Kenna. Make sure you subscribe. We've got lots of wonderful guests coming up. Next week, we'll be meeting with Leanne, and Leanne and I are fast friends, and she has so much to offer. She's a wonderful woman and a life coach, so you know there's going to be some good stuff in that interview. So away we go. Let's meet Heather. Hi, so here we are with Heather. Hi, Heather.
Hi.
So we're going to jump right in. This is my guest, Heather. And what I want to start with, Heather, we talked about how we met. And one of the ways that we met was through both of our love and passion for the health and wellness industry. And Heather, you have recently transitioned from, I say recently, but it's been about, what, 4 years now that you've been on your own in a business? How long has it been?
This November will be 3 years.
3 years. Okay. So Heather recently left a job, working for someone else to become self-employed as an entrepreneur. And so Heather, why don't you tell us a little bit about first of all, about your company and what it is that you do. And then we would love to hear about what that was like for you, because I know myself, being an entrepreneur, what a huge leap of faith that is, leaving the comfort and security of a job and a paycheck to go out on your own and just not knowing, are you going to get clients? Are you not going to get clients? The financial burden of all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of women out there, and a lot of men too, who would love to hear what that must have been like for you to take that leap of faith to go out on your own, and how that's turned out for you. So I'm going to turn it over to you.
Well, actually, at my old place, I was self-employed,
Oh,
but
okay.
I was renting a room, so there was a huge part of the job that I didn't have to stress about, which was the running of the clinic and the paying the bills and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But I did have my own business name and business number and all that kind of stuff. But it was a pretty big leap of faith still when I decided to open my own place.
Right.
The whole thing of, will people find me? Or there's this added responsibility of running the clinic as well as just what I'd already been doing. But it was a nice transition because I kind of had the first half of the job down, right?
Right.
I'd
And what is it that you do exactly?
I'm a registered massage therapist.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I just want to make sure everybody at home knows what you do. Yeah.
So I'm a registered massage therapist. And when I first started at the old clinic, I came on to, I was going to work like weekends and part-time kind of thing, pick up hours here and there. And it just so happened that right after I was writing my board exams, one of their full-time therapists really hurt her back. So they were like, well, can you come in full-time and cover for her? So I did that, but then she never ended up coming back to massage therapy. So I sort of, in the very beginning, adopted her clientele.
Yeah, life happens that way sometimes, doesn't it? Where we think we're going to do one thing and then everything just kind of goes sideways on us.
Yeah.
We adopt something. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's funny because whenever therapists ask, well, how was it when you first started? How slow were you? And I'm like, I wasn't. I was essentially a locum at first. Some of those people are still with me to this day, but others filtered out and new people filtered in. And over the years, I did a lot of my own articles and networking and all sorts to kind of build my own clientele at that clinic.
Mm-hmm.
So when I moved, I didn't really know what to expect. I kind of thought things might slow right down for a little while, but a lot of people actually followed me.
Yeah.
And I think it's because they didn't go to me at the old clinic because I was at the old clinic. They went to me because they'd heard from a friend or family member that it had really good success with my work. And so it's kind of like a hairdresser, right? Like
Yeah.
some people go for the location, some people go for the person. And I
So,
just happened to have cultivated a lot of people.
yeah, and I'm gonna pull you outside your comfort zone a little bit because I know why people come back to you. But why do you think people come back to you? Why do you think you're different enough to be able to have people come back to you and go to you when you change your clinic? Because I think that you offer something that a lot of other people in the health and wellness industry maybe don't. What do you think it is that you do differently?
I
I know I'm stretching you a little bit here.
don't know. I mean, I obviously hear I'm good at the mechanics of what I do, but I think I'm kind of a goofball.
Yeah.
And I suppose in a way a bit of a chameleon,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like people bring out different qualities of myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think people feel like they can connect to me differently than just this static person that they go to for this purpose or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I think
Yeah.
if it's somebody who's got a really funny sense of humor, I'll just goof around and whatever. And then if it's someone that's more serious, I can be more serious.
Yeah.
But I guess I just kind of read the person, maybe.
Yeah, I think you're very empathic in that you can absorb sort of people's energy and give it back to them. But I also want to say, having known you the way that I know you, I think that you have a value added personality, that you don't just do massage therapy. You don't
Oh,
just, massage and see you bye.
yeah.
You have a philosophy, and maybe I'm speaking out of turn, but I believe this about you because I've had so many conversations with you where I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, I've never had a massage therapist that thinks that way or does that.
Oh.
Where you have this value added service where you're talking about the mechanics of the body. You go that extra mile where you're thinking about like exercises and stretches and
Yeah.
diet and lifestyle and mental thoughts, and you really do like a whole package for your clients. It's not just here's your massage, see you bye, good luck. Like
Yeah.
I love that. Like I call it value added. And I'm
Okay.
wondering where that comes from in you, why you always go the extra mile in everything that you do. Like I think it's kind of funny, but I look about Halloween. Can we just like totally go off on another train?
Yeah.
You and your husband on Halloween. I have never seen anybody go so all out at
Oh,
Halloween.
and he's
Like
way
their
better than
Halloween
I am,
costumes
but
are unbelievable,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
But
I've had to up my costume game because of him.
oh, totally. Costume game is insane. I've never seen such awesome
Who'd have
Halloween.
thought?
It's like that. I feel like in almost every aspect of your life, like you go that extra mile in everything that you do, and particularly professionally, I think.
Yeah.
And so that's what I meant when I said, why do you think people come back to you? You go the extra mile. So can we talk a little bit about that? Like what you offer
Um,
your clients?
what I offer them?
Yeah, like just in that
Um,
extra mile stuff that you
yeah.
do.
Well, I've always had a real big interest in the home care, self-care, because we're taught in school that we are supposed to do that.
Yeah.
And I think that for some people, it's easier and quicker and means guaranteed income if people just keep coming back. I often joke that I'm like going to put myself out of work because I'm going to teach people how to fix themselves and they won't need me anymore.
Right. Yeah, I
um,
do that in my hypnotherapy practice too.
yeah.
I'm like, if you need to come see me more than 3 times, then I'm not doing my job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it depends on the thing, but I don't know. I don't think there's much purpose in, it's a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Massage, and even like the problem is, and what I'm really focusing on right now with my Facebook page, and I'm having my website rebuilt, and I just
Mhm.
did a bunch of photos with some friends the other day to show like what I actually do.
Yeah.
Because when people book a massage, they're just like, oh, I'm going to go lay on the table for 60 minutes and get massaged and it's going to be lovely. And it's like, well, that's great, but like that's where massage is still so blurry. People think of a spa experience.
Yeah.
They don't think of therapy. They kind of cut the therapy word out of massage therapy.
Yeah.
And they just want to go get a
Can I
massage.
interrupt for 1 second? Just so you know, people, I am going to put the link to Heather's massage therapy clinic on the bottom of the screen. So you will get that. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I've really been trying to educate people lately on the other part of our scope of practice, which is the therapeutic movement and therapeutic exercise, and why they have the pain versus just fixing that symptom right now and then it coming back in 5 days. Anyways,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I think it's a bit of type A personality and tunnel vision obsessiveness. Like when I get into a new hobby, like that's all I do, or, you know, so I think I just kind of, I get tunnel vision and I just do things as thoroughly as I can. It's just, I think, my personality.
Yeah. And so having that kind of personality, Heather, does it get you into trouble with self-care? Do you forget to do self-care for yourself sometimes?
Sometimes, but I always think of my life as very fluky. Like with my job, I'm showing people stretches and exercises. I'm not sitting in a desk all day. Like,
right. So you kind of get self-care by proxy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I still have to kick my butt to the gym or, you know, go to an actual yoga class from time to time. And there's some days where I'm like, nope, don't feel like doing that today. But at least my job keeps me moving in fairly gentle ways. Like I'll go into work sometimes with a sore back and I'm halfway through my day and my back's not sore anymore because I'm moving around. Right. Which is exactly what I'm trying to encourage people to do, is to move around and move your body in different ways, not just the same way you always do. So.
Right. That makes so much sense to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I definitely am in a job where I'm sitting or lying all day. So maybe I need to take up that yoga instructor course you're doing. Oh, that would be awesome.
My biggest self-care ruts are usually more the diet side of things.
Yeah.
I have no willpower when it comes to stuff I shouldn't be eating, or, you know, like if it's in the house, it's in my mouth. I can't.
Yeah. Well, and your living situation is unique too. Maybe we can kind of take a side road again. You, aside from kind of having this huge life transition of becoming, you know, your own boss, you also married into an instant family.
I did.
Yeah, and that that in itself can be a huge transition. So, and you do everything with such grace, you know, like just no
lovely, but it looks that way.
It looks that way. Well, you know, grace is an interesting thing, isn't it? Yeah. Because on the outside, we look like we're handling everything so well, right? We have a smile on our face and we're just, you know, we're going about our lives. And then we go home and we go, ah! Right? But honestly, grace shows because of the people around you. When the people around you are happy and you're doing things together as a family and all of those things, that's where the grace shows. You may feel a little bit hectic and crazy inside, but when you have a tight family, that's where the grace shows. So when I say you're doing things with grace, it's because I know your family. And so I know you're doing it with grace, even though you may feel a little bit crazy sometimes. So let's tell everybody about what sort of transpired in that situation. You don't have to give us specific details because I know, you know, family can be a little bit private, but I want to know a little bit about how it was for you marrying into an instant family.
It was actually pretty seamless in ways because I'd known Jason for a number of years before we even started dating.
Okay.
I was really good friends with his ex, actually, and so I would always be over here hanging out. And then one day I was here and found out that his daughter was going to be coming to visit for spring break. And I'm like, didn't know you had a kid. Cool. Yeah. So she was about to turn 6 and she came to meet him for the first time and spend spring break and then came back for the summer. And so I got to know her as sort of like the crazy family friend, Auntie Heather.
Okay. Yeah.
Role. And so we got to know each other pretty well. We had a relationship. And then a couple years later is when Jason and I started dating. But it was funny because Roberta essentially set us up.
Oh, I love it. So his daughter was in on the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
Like I didn't know this.
She was at our first date. She was wearing a purple dress with purple sparkly shoes, and she had so much purple sparkly makeup on her face.
I love it.
And all through dinner, is my lipstick still there? Yeah, it's there. It's so fun.
I didn't know this story.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah, so like it was pretty seamless, as in like we didn't have to do the whole, okay, we've been dating for 5 months, now you're gonna meet my kid, hopefully they like you. Like we
Yeah.
didn't have to go through any of that. I was actually living at home when we first started dating. I was commuting from Campbell River to Comox every day for work.
Yeah.
And so I think I actually moved in with Jason like 2 months into dating.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But we had known each other for years already.
Yeah.
Right. And Roberta and I had known each other for years already. And then we got engaged, I think, a year later.
Okay.
And then married, I think, a year after that. My time, once a year has passed, it's like archived. It's
Time,
like
right? Everything to me is the other day.
Yeah, it's
I
that.
said that to Skylar the other day. I go, well, whenever we went there the other day, he goes, Kenna, that was 4 months ago. I go, yeah, the other day.
Yeah, the other day.
It was the other day.
So the transition itself was pretty seamless for the most part, aside from stepping in as more of a parent role than just a friend role.
Yeah.
And it was funny because the day that she stopped listening to me, I knew. I was like, yep, she's accepted me as her mom now. Like, she's not listening to me anymore. She didn't need to win my affection anymore.
That's right. There's like a moment, right? What do they call that? They said the honeymoon is over.
Yeah.
The mommy moon is over.
Yeah.
So, and so it's been how long now? How long that you've been in the mommy role now?
It's been almost 7 years since Jason and I started dating.
Yeah. So she's got to be in her teens now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going through the teenage brain fog right now.
Oh, the brain fog.
Oh,
yeah.
It's taken some wine. Tell you that.
Wine?
It's taking wine on my part. Not for her.
Not for her. Okay. Well, that's a good sign.
We need something to bring productivity levels down even more.
No. I love it. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Good. So. But it can be a challenge, and it sounds like you have sort of taken it in stride, right?
Yeah.
We all have to take things in stride.
Yeah. I think what worked best, what helped was right away I set down some pretty serious boundaries of like, no, like if I say this, you need to do this. Like, and if I gave her a consequence to something, I followed through with it. Yeah. Because otherwise you see so many kids where it's like, they know the consequence isn't actually going to happen, and that would be so hard.
Yeah. And Jason was on your side, right? Like that was a big thing, was you and Jason had this sewed up right away. It wasn't like she wasn't able to play you two against each other.
No.
Yeah.
We're both a little bit old school, I guess, in how we raise her. Yeah. Like right now she's on a road trip with my aunt. Mm-hmm. They've been gone for 2 weeks and they get back on the Thursday. And they've been through parts of BC and then up into Alberta, and they went to Calgary, and now they're coming back. Nice. And we were at yoga with our friends last week. They're like, so where's Roberta? And we're like, she's somewhere in BC or Alberta. I don't know. She's with Auntie Deb. She's fine. It's all good. Like, we don't know.
I love it.
We've texted
because you trust her.
Yeah. Well, we've texted sporadically, but we're not like, so what are you doing? And, like, it's like, go have your own experiences and then come back and tell us the stories. And
so it must be nice to have the house to yourself for a couple weeks.
It is. It's a little tidier. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of interesting, her not being home, just that not having that added mental load of being in mom mode.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like it's been very good.
I think all parents just so you know, this is my greatest advice for all parents out there. Listen to me, listen clearly. 2-week break every year.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yep. The parent needs the break. The
The
kid
parent
needs the
needs the
break.
break. The kids need the break. Everybody needs the break. Make it
Everybody needs the
happen.
break.
And by the way, that is not an invitation for you all to send them to my house. Just so we're clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was not an invitation.
Yeah.
So
My
I know.
aunt's been texting.
What's that? Sorry,
My
what?
aunt's been texting.
Oh, has she?
She's been like, "Thank you so much for letting us have her." We're like, "No, thank you."
Everybody needs an Auntie Deb. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
I had an Auntie Deb, actually. I still do. I still have an Auntie Deb. I wonder how many people have an Auntie Deb.
Yeah.
So I know we're getting close to our time here, and I just want to ask you one last question. What is it that you most look forward to in the future? When you look forward to your life, your adventure, what is it that you most look forward to in the future? And if you could kind of give our viewers sort of your words of wisdom, if you want to call it that, what would they be?
God. I try to do that now already. Like I try to spend some time every day doing a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
And I look forward to more chunks of my day being able to be spent doing a hobby versus doing work per se.
Yeah. So finding your joy.
Yeah, because that's part of self-care too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I look forward to traveling more, being able to plan trips more.
Yeah.
We've never actually been on a trip together.
Really?
No.
So as a family?
As a family, or even just Jason and I.
Okay. Did you guys not take a honeymoon?
We did like a weekend in Tofino.
Okay, see, we haven't taken a honeymoon either.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we didn't either. That wasn't like we were like, nah, we'll do it later. And we haven't.
We call lots of things our honeymoon. Like every other anniversary, we'll go to like Point No Point in Souk or to Tofino, and we'll stay in a cabin for the weekend, and we call it a honeymoon.
Yeah.
But like we've never gone to Mexico or to Europe
no, neither have we.
or whatever, anything like that. So I'm looking forward to one day doing some of that.
Nice. Good.
Yeah.
Words of wisdom.
Yeah.
As a type A driven woman trying to make life balanced.
I think you have to find a way to make your big goals benefit you in a healthy way too. Right. Like tie in taking care of yourself with what you're focused on. If you're someone like me who has tunnel vision, because it's so easy to just not do anything else.
Right.
I don't know. I don't think of myself as a very wisdomous person. So.
Oh, I do. I think you've taught me quite a bit, actually. Yeah. Because we're a lot alike. We're both very type A, very driven, kind of focused people. And I think you've taught me a lot about humility and just really letting your walls down sometimes.
Yeah, I'm much better at that one-on-one than in groups. I tend to be the observer in group situations.
Yeah, yeah. You have to live for today, right? Just being in the moment and just today is all you got, really, right?
Yeah. I guess that's something, learning to laugh at yourself.
Oh, yeah.
And not take yourself too seriously.
Yeah.
That's a big one I'm working on with Roberta right now, because we're at the age where it's like, self-conscious or whatever, right? I'm like,
yes, yeah.
You gotta just laugh at yourself, and then they can't laugh at you. They can only laugh with you.
That's right. I love it. I love it. Those are good words. Laugh at yourself, not in a bad way, but just be able to laugh at yourself and be light. I have this mantra that I say sometimes, and people laugh at me, but I'll just mumble it, and I'll be like, I'm a duck, 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 I'm a duck. And people are like, what are you doing? And I'll say to them, I'm a duck. And they'll be like, what do you mean? And I'll say, look, everything, it's just like water off my back, off my back. I'm a duck, I'm a duck, I'm a duck. And I just remind myself that, nothing sticks to me. I'm a duck, I'm a duck, I'm a duck. And I just have to keep it light. And I just picture this little yellow duck waddling around like, I'm a duck, I'm a duck, I'm a duck.
Yeah.
And just remembering to keep it light and just waddle like a duck and not let anything stick to me, right? And just go through life and just be happy. And it's sort of the same thing. And I remember, a few conversations we've had, I've had to remind myself to not be so serious. Be a duck. Just waddle through life and let things just roll off my back.
Yeah. I've been listening to a podcast, and this woman said her therapist told her that other people's opinions about you are none of your business.
That's right. Yeah. 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 Yeah, that's a great way to put it, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, and in that light, I heard something the other day, and I can't remember where I heard it. And I love to give credit where credit is due, but I honestly cannot remember where I heard this. But it was very similar. It said that you only take offense when you believe you believe the lies that other people say about you.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone says something offensive about you, when you believe it, it's like when you believe the lies, that's when you take offense. But
Mm-hmm.
if you only believe the truth about yourself, you don't get offended.
Yeah.
So for instance, if somebody says, oh, Kenna's just really, she's just stupid. And I know that that's a lie and I don't believe it, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
But if I believe that and I go, oh yeah, I'm really stupid,
Yeah.
but it's a lie, then of course I'm going to feel bad, right? But if you only believe the truth about yourself, which is that I'm brilliant, I'm wonderful, I'm beautiful, I'm smart, then all of a sudden I don't take offense to those kind of words, or I don't carry those kind of words. So it was saying only believe the truth about yourself and you won't care what other people say about you.
Yeah.
Because it's just lies anyway.
Yeah.
So it's similar, right? What other people's opinions of you are none of your business.
Yeah.
Because most of the time they're lies anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Believe the truth about yourself. And so it's very similar with that self-esteem thing, right? So reminding yourself, reminding Roberta that, just believe the truth about yourself and everything else will fall off your back like a duck. And on that note, let's be little ducks and waddle off. So yeah, I just want to thank everybody for joining us today on Besties in a Box. I want to thank Heather for joining us today. It was awesome. I really enjoyed our time together. And I know that all those people that are tuning in enjoyed it as well. Want to remind you to like and follow our page at Psychic Kenna on YouTube. It's also on my website. We will for sure have all the links to Heather's wonderful business and she's also doing a lot of webcasts as well on her page. And we'll make sure that she is. She's doing some great stuff. And we'll make sure that you have all of those links on my website as well as on my YouTube channel so that you can follow her as well. And again, thanks so much. Tune in next week. I'm not sure who our guest is next week. It's still a little bit up in the air, but I know it's going to be awesome. So join us next week. And again, thanks so much. Bye, everyone. Goodbye.